I feel with the Jessica Simpson situation, I think she started to get a little itchy about her career and maybe just realize, you know what, I think this has run its course and it's time for me to do what makes me happy, which is singing.
For the Jessica Alba relationship, I feel soon as she said after the 2-3 year mark we felt like roommates, it ran its course then. They just stayed together longer than it should have.
Hello, some buddies! Welcome to all you newbies, and for all you returners, hey, thank you. On today's show, as you saw in the thumbnail, beginning of the year, we don't have just one. Huh. Hey, Christmas came early for 2025. We have two Jessicas that are back on the market. But why? What's going on there? Well, Jay and I are going to delve into it. But before we do, please, if you make it to the end of it, consider a like, consider a subscribe, because it's free. And at Marriage Pros, we're all about giving you free stuff. So please do. Now, without further ado, let's get to it. So Jay, let's start with Jessica Alba because this one happened first as they announced not just separation but divorce on January 8th. Here we go. Jessica Alba and what a name here, Jay, Cash Warren met on the set of the Fantastic Four movie. Cash was the assistant to the film's director, engaged in 2007. So they dated for 3 years, so they went past the honeymoon stage. So far, so good. They announced they were pregnant with their first child, and also they were engaged. Now, they got married 2 months before their first child was born. So I mean, you kind of got right to the finish line when it comes to that, because at least I guess you can feel okay with knowing that the first child you were already married. So does that really make a difference, Jay?
See, when I found out that they got married, like, during the pregnancy stage, that's kind of told me all I needed to know, where it's like, are you getting married for the right reasons? At this point in life, I don't care about celebrities' relationships anymore, because if you put it in my face, and then you guys break up, I need to know why. And you're not going to tell us that. That's just me being nosy. But if you're, like I said, if you haven't gone through all the seasons of seeing someone, and then I'll say, oops, oh, someone got pregnant. So it's like, oh, I'm going to do the right thing and get married. But you may not be really into that person, where it's like, okay, I see you as my spouse until death do us part type of thing. So yeah, when I heard like, oh, that don't sound right, only certain people do that, and it doesn't usually always work out. In this case, it did not work out.
Now, within their marriage, they also had 2 other children, so 3 total. Cash was an entrepreneur even, helping Jessica open up her Honest company, which we all know what it is. It's the brand that most of us can't afford, so we just go to the cheap stuff, right? Maybe every now and again we'll buy one just for curiosity. I know I bought the wipes and I'm like, it's no different from the cheap stuff. On January 8th of this year, they announced it was over. So, we're going to get into something, Jay. We're going to get into some clips on what was going down with their marriage, and these clips are brought to you by Katherine Schwarzenegger's YouTube channel. And Jay, I'm going to say this as we watch, this was 8 months ago, and Jessica was already making these statements.
I think that he probably gets the short end of the stick.
Right.
Not, I would say we, and it's not even him, I would say it's us, right? Because it's when I'm seeing him and spending time with him and we're like really like enjoying each other, it's an us thing, right? And it feeds me as well. It's hard, it's impossible, because I would say after the first, it's all rosy for 2.5 years, but then after that you become roommates and it's just like you're roommates, you're just going through the motions. You have the responsibilities. It's a lot of like checking the boxes, right?
That told me everything I needed to know right there. I don't like it when celebrities, right? I know you gotta put a front on, that everything's happy-go-lucky and blah, 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 but if you know after the 2 years that you're not happy, one, that's telling me you guys didn't ask enough questions, you guys didn't hang out enough to get past that part where it's like, you know what? Yes, I can see us sticking together. But after 2 years of marriage and you're like, you know what? I'm out. That told me everything I needed to know. The honeymoon stage is gone. Now we're gonna start living life. And you're gonna have your ups and downs. You're gonna go through stuff. Now, do you want to stick it out because you guys love each other that much? Or it's like the infatuation period is gone. There's really no love there to begin with.
How solid was that foundation that they planted? It doesn't seem like it was that solid, because now all these questions that should have been taken care of beforehand, as Jay said, are rising back up. They probably shouldn't be. It's very important, somebodies. You have to take care of your due diligence at the very beginning, even if it's tough. It's better to get all the tough stuff out of the way. That way, you know, you hope for smooth sailing the rest of the marriage. But hey, somebody let us know in the comments. What do you think? Did you make it past the honeymoon stage and something came up? Or are you right on there sailing away? So let us know.
We used to do like every Wednesday we're gonna do date night, you know, or every week we're gonna set aside a time, we're gonna at least do date night, right? We won't have our phones and we'll just like talk. But then that stopped because of whatever, you know, and so we're just not consistent. That date night or that time is when you really shouldn't talk about the annoying stuff,
Right.
that you talk about during the week anyway, right?
Yeah.
It is the time to sort of like get past that and check in a different way. But it's hard. It's really hard.
Well, when she said it was hard, the first thing I thought about was that's what she said. So I do I do believe in the date night. Like my wife and I, we talk about this all the time, especially since our daughter now is 13 and she can watch the boys while we actually go out and hang out and just have some time together. You should still court your spouse after you're married. Still flirt with them. Still do whatever you did to get them initially, kind of continue to do all those type of things. Yes, things change with kids coming into the picture and things like that. Like my daughter, she doesn't like when my wife wants to invite me to the gym so we can just hang out. And she's like, so you're betraying me with him? I'm like, hold on, how do you think you got here to begin with? But that's another story altogether. But yeah, date night is really important. It's something, you don't have to do it every week. Just like maybe spend some time together, maybe watching a show, watching something on YouTube that you guys both enjoy, or some type of topic or anything like that. Maybe go out to dinner once a month, once every other month. It doesn't be anything fancy or anything like that. Just you want to carve out time together. Jessica Alba is right about that. You want to carve out some type of time together. Just catch up. Talk about stuff you haven't talked about. Talk about whatever it is that you guys both have common interest in. I believe just stuff like just hanging out, it just reinvigorate if any kind of passion is gone, anything like that.
Yeah, Jay. Yeah, I mean, I know with past shows, and you somebody's, hopefully you watch our past shows, Jay has always touted date night. It's number one key thing to keep you and the missus still feeling like yourselves, because otherwise you can get yourself lost in the minutia of just parenting. Especially if one is home more than the other. I mean, for sometimes your title is just mom and dad instead of who you are. Instead of Jay just being Jay. You don't want Jay to fall into just dad. People still need to be able to be themselves. Even if you can't get date night, like Jay said, just hang out somewhere. If you watch a favorite show or movie, just carve out some time, even if it's a quick 30 minutes. It is very important to not lose yourself, somebodies. And of course, somebody's let us know in the comments what's going on with you. Do you guys put date night as such a priority? Because marriage pros feel you should. But if you don't, let us know why. We're always ready to read what you say.
Being able to communicate when you're unhappy and nipping it right away instead of letting it sort of like fester. And then you have like, you know, animosity and then it explodes, which we've gone through that one too. We've been together for like, we're on 17 years. So
oh my gosh, I didn't realize you guys have been together for that long.
Yeah, he basically stole my 20s and my 30s.
Oh my
from
God.
me completely.
That's amazing,
Long
though.
Now, Jay, I'm going to go with the last part of it because that was quite intriguing to me. She says that Cash stole her 20s and 30s. I mean, this is a marriage that's supposed to be forever. Is there really thievery going on? Is this like honor amongst thieves type of deal? Where why did he steal them if you're just together forever? I didn't I didn't like that she said it in the way that she did. But with communication as well, she was talking about that, yeah, you don't want to have all these things pent up. You have to say them, even for better or worse. Something tells me that Jay is all about letting you know what's going down. But before I go to him, somebody's let us know. Are you about letting it all out there right away? Or are you just building and building until one day you just explode and then your partner doesn't know what's going on? I mean, Jay, keep it real with us. What say you?
See, that caught my attention to the last thing she said about stealing her 20s and her 30s. So when I heard that, I'm thinking, okay, these are my prime years of my looks. So I could have got someone better than you if I knew this was going to happen. That's how I took it, right? She might not mean it that way, but that's how I took it. So for women, usually their 20s and 30s, those are prime look years. Some women still look attractive in their 40s and 50s. All depends on how you take care of yourself. But when she said that, now I'm thinking, who asked for the divorce? Was it her or was it him? Because if it's her, she wants to be able to find another partner while she still have her looks, that they're not so diminished. That's how I'm thinking about it. So when she said that, I was like, oh, who really asked for the divorce? Now, I don't know if that part's out there or not, but if you felt after the 2-year mark that he stole your 20s and 30s, why don't you just ask for a divorce then while you're still in your prime? That's just me.
Now, did your partner steal your 20s and 30s? Let us know in the comments.
She is right about the communication though, because you do not want to have any kind of animosity built up where you guys are not talking about whatever issues that you guys are having. And it's not to say you want to say it in a mean or rude or negative way, because however it comes across, you put it out there, that's kind of energy you're going to get back. So if you're putting it out there like with an attitude or you're being snappy or anything like that, that's the kind of response you most likely will get back from your partner. So I would say most likely they didn't have a good communication style, or they didn't understand each other as far as if she's saying something he received it differently or vice versa.
So we have like obviously like the friendship, the comfort of like you're not going anywhere. And so sometimes you don't treat those people the best, right? You don't consider their feelings in the way that you would consider other people's feelings. So that is something that I think is a constant one to work on, because you're at different places, right? One night a week, date night might be enough.
Yeah.
At some point of your life, but it may not be enough, in a month.
Yeah, I mean, I think
you might need something else.
So, I'm going to say this right now, somebodies. I am guilty of doing that. There have been times where I see a situation and maybe I didn't put it all the effort that I should have. And just because, like she said, you're married and you're not going to go anywhere. A marriage is supposed to be forever. Of course, this is the person that's been divorced already one time, Mr. Mafuchi here. But that's not the way to go in the long run, somebody's. Really, you have to take every situation and put in all your effort for it to work. But put in the effort because you want to, because you love your partner, and because it's gonna make the difference. It really is. The marriage pros here talk about all the stuff that we do because from our mistakes. That's what makes us pros.
Yeah, when she was saying that, I was thinking, how much is that is on her and how much of it was on him? Was she really not like at her best treating him a certain way if she wasn't getting the type of love or interaction that she wanted or needed from him? So I'm wondering, was it her who was more snappy or not more judgmental as far as what she was saying in that clip? Because I don't really know anything much about Cash except for he's married to her. That's all I know about him, honestly. So it's curious to me, like, what did he participate in it because he was checked out at some point and she's the one still trying to put in effort, or was it the other way around?
It's a life journey, and I think, like, if you're both every day deciding to do it, it's gonna work out.
Yeah.
Regardless of the drama, right? Regardless of anything that happens. If you're both like, I want this, I want to figure this out, nothing can really, like, break that.
Yeah.
The second one of you is checked out, then it's a one-sided relationship.
Yeah.
Because you're not always going to be on the same page.
Of
And
course.
you're not always going to grow at the same pace.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? And you should be able to, like, have different interests and blossom and evolve, you know, how you need to, and you should feel supported, right?
Yeah.
By your person, and not held back or pulled down.
That was interesting what she said. I feel just because she is the bigger name out of the two, and in a lot of cases, men who are not as successful as their wife, they may feel belittled or smaller than, or whatever the case may be. And she's right. I 100% agree with her when she said, if you two are in it together, whatever issues that come up and you know you want to work on it, you can get through it. But once one person checks out, yeah, the relationship is over. So I really agree with what she said about that. My just question is, and just because me, I'm just nosy, like, who checked out first? Her or him? Or was she just put in, as most women do, they put in a lot of effort because they want the relationship to work. Guys, if something is wrong, they might like, hey, I'm gone. But certain women are like that too, depending on what the issue is. So yeah, that kind of stood out for me.
Wow, Jay, yeah, that totally makes a lot of sense. The key thing that I've picked up on the sidebar is that Jessica Alba, to me, if you put the range a little higher, sounds like Hillary from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, okay? If they were like long lost cousins and she would have been a character, I would have totally believed it. That's the cadence that I get. But nonetheless, in what she's talking about, yeah, if one person is checked out, it's not going to matter. We've spoken about this in other episodes, that a person is going to resent the other one that's not making the effort if they keep dragging them along. It's a partnership and a marriage. That's what it's all about. You two got married because you're cool with being each other's support system, partners, the unconditional love, all that good stuff. But if one person's already checked out, then it's not gonna work. Then, like Jay said, we don't know who it is right now. Officially, they have said it's amicable, but of course, that's just a PC term for, hey, we're not gonna say who it is. But I think I tend to lean more towards Jay, that Jessica's the bigger name, as far as we know. So it probably was ultimately decided by her. But I guess for now, we will never know. So let us know in the comments, somebodies, who do you think is the one that finally called it quits, and did somebody check out? Let us know. Now, Jay, we get a bonus. It's like a 2 for Tuesday. We were just going to talk about Jessica Alba, but then it sprung up. Another Jessica, Simpson, has announced that she's also going to go back on the market after 10 years of marriage. But let's get to the stats on her, Jay. Jessica Simpson and Eric Johnson met through a mutual friend in 2010. Engaged after 6 months of dating. Gave birth to 2 children in 2012 and 2013. Then, Jay, they got married in 2014, but they considered that dating. Jay, say it to them. Preach to us.
You're not dating if you already got kids together. That just makes no damn sense. I'm just saying. That makes no sense at all. But whatever.
I knew you were going to have something to say about that, Jay. You're like, wow. It's dating. We just have kids. I mean, no. That's not the case, somebody. You have kids, your life already started. Married or not. And also, Jay, Jessica Simpson is rich. Her collection, this Jessica Simpson collection clothing line, has made her a billionaire. She is an earner. Not to mention, and this isn't surprising, Jay, they announced that there was a prenup prior. Of course, Jay, right? I mean, she's the earner. You should have a prenup. I mean, let us know. That was the right move, right?
Oh, I agree with that. If you have money coming into a marriage, I don't care if you both have money, just in case, you just want to protect yourself and make sure what you came in with, you leaving with. I agree with that 100%. I don't care who you are, honestly. If you got money, protect yourself.
That's for sure. So somebody's let us know. Are you in agreement with a prenuptial agreement? Just take away the money side. Or are you offended by it because marriage is supposed to be forever? Let us know in the comments. Now, getting back to more stats. Apparently, they have been living separately for the past year. It's also, they say, a painful marriage situation. Wow, that's already a red flag. What Simpson has been seen as, she's been seen in her recording studio because apparently she's gonna go back to singing. And she has put a statement out there saying it's an apology to myself to putting up with everything I did not deserve. Another cryptic red flag there that I see that I did not deserve. So it kind of puts it on him, Jay, from what I get, that she put up with what she didn't deserve, and it's a painful marriage situation. I mean, Jay, what do you read into that?
I want to know more about the painful marriage part of it, because if you have kids together, most likely she tried to maybe stay as long as she did for the kids, which I don't understand or recommend people to do, because one, your kids already see it, so they can feel the tension, they can see everything that's going on. Kids are not as dumb as we think they are. You know, they're very observant. So when it comes to them being split up for about a year prior to the announcement, usually that is the case. When we hear about a divorce from a celebrity, like, oh my God, I don't believe it. But they've been separated at least for a year or two. Or going through the motions of, okay, this is not working. We can try this, and this. But usually we all know it ain't going to work.
Well, we'll see somebody's if she goes the Taylor Swift route and starts writing about her divorce. We'll find out soon enough. But also, something else that happened. They put out a statement that said that the kids came first and they were focusing on what's best for them. So Jay, I think, kind of leans into the right path, which is the kids. Of course, you always have to put the kids in factoring a decision. It's tough, but it's something you have to do, especially if you love your kid.
You don't brush your teeth?
Well, not all the time. Maybe
Explain
3 times a week.
Explain why.
Because my teeth are so white, and I don't like them to feel too slippery. But I do use like Listerine, and I do floss every day.
Right.
But I don't brush them every day. I'll use a shirt or something.
You,
I know it's gross. It's gross, but I always have fresh breath. It's really weird.
yes,
like
but
I have
it's
great
not just
breath.
about the fresh breath. You also want to keep your teeth in good condition.
Yeah.
So flossing is important.
Flossing is important.
But you don't like to brush them.
I really don't. They are too slippery, and I feel like I don't know. My lips just slide all over the place.
So you need. Are you gonna be talking like that?
Yeah,
you
it's like-
couldn't really talk.
I can't catch up with my mouth.
Right. So you need a little bit of something to keep them slowed down.
Just a
Yeah.
little coating.
All right.
A little
All right.
plaque.
So, Jay and I have talked about this. We'd love to know what happens, of course. We'd love to be a fly in the wall. But I feel with the Jessica Simpson situation, I think she started to get a little itchy about her career. And maybe just realize, you know what, I think this has run its course. And it's time for me to do what makes me happy, which is singing. And maybe the husband wasn't about that, traveling. We'll never know. But that is my theory on the whole Jessica Simpson situation. Now, apparently with Jessica Alba and her husband, or ex-husband now, Cash, amicable. But again, something had to happen, okay? I feel this could have just fell into a bromance, and that's horrible. To have a woman be part of a bromance, you don't want that. it's kind. Sometimes it's a little embarrassing to see two men in the bromance. It's kind of weird, but it does happen. But you don't want a woman in a bromance. So I feel that's what happened. Jay, let us know your thoughts.
For the Jessica Alba relationship, I feel that ran its course earlier in their marriage. So soon she said after the 2-3 year mark, we felt like roommates. It ran its course then. They just stayed together longer than they should have, and then had more kids on top of that. Which, if you're not feeling each other that way, why are you having kids together? Anyway. But that's nevertheless. But the Jessica Simpson one, I'm not 100% sure what's going on there. I just feel you were married once. We all know she was married to Nick Lachey. But I would think you would take whatever you learned from that marriage, bring it into the next marriage, so you already should know what you want, what you don't want. And that's why I always say you want to see someone in every season, so you can find out what you don't like and if you're gonna put up with it or not. So I don't know too much about their relationship outside of that, but if she wants to sing and unburden herself, more power to her. But yeah, as far as the marriage goes, if you're saying that you've been putting up with stuff you shouldn't be putting up with, why did you stay? And I don't want to hear for the kids, because you have enough money to take care of yourself and the kids.
Well, somebodies, you heard it here first from the Marriage Pros. And hey, you reached the end of the show. Thank you so much. If you enjoyed this video, please let us know with a like or a subscribe. Both of them is also welcome. And as always, we do have a comment section. Let us know if you agree with what Jay and I have said, or you don't agree with it, or you have your own thoughts about it, theories. Please put it all in the comments. We'd love to read them. So, until next time, somebodies, my boy Jay, this is Mafuchi. We will see you next time.
Later.